So typically what happens, the ATO has for a long time deemed some debts as uneconomical to pursue. And typically what happens is they say, it's not worth our time and money to chase these debts, and it sort of disappears. But recently they resurrected all these debts and they sent thousands of Australians correspondence letters, or the accountants got correspondence about these debts coming back. And these debts are sometimes more than a decade old, so it's created a lot of havoc for people. I spoke to one taxpayer, Adriana Carrington. She has a debt that dates back to 2008-09 financial year. This debt came about, she left an abusive relationship. It came about, she says, because of a trust that her ex-partner had set up at the time under her name. She says she wasn't receiving income from that trust, but the existence of that trust meant that basically she has been now left with this big debt. Initially, the debt was around $15,000. In 2015, the ATO said, it's uneconomical to pursue. In 2016, her accountant said, don't worry, it's been written off. 2023, it comes back up. Now it's more than double the original, $34,000. And Adriana's just absolutely devastated. This is what she had to say.
Devastated, absolutely devastated, inconsolable. I was for the first couple of days. Then I've had to try and grapple with what it is, print things out, try and resurrect and fight the case with the ATO. They won't. They've sent me a letter saying that my claim has been disallowed, and they're still trying to collect money from me.
So, Nassim, why won't the ATO waive these debts?
So the ATO says that it's got no discretion to waive these debts, that that's really a decision for the federal government. I asked Assistant Treasurer Stephen Jones, are you looking at this? He says we're looking into it pending an ATO review. But basically these debts exist and there's a lot of concern. So I spoke to Independent MP Andrew Wilkie. He's likening it to the Centrelink robo debt scheme. Here's Andrew.
Where a debt, particularly if it's a small debt, where it is literally lost in history and the taxpayer doesn't know the basis for it, the accountant can't get to the bottom of it and get a good explanation, then surely there must be a point at which the ATO has failed to do its job and the money is lost to it.
That's Andrew Wilkie there. How carefully do you think the government and the ATO needs to handle this issue, given, as you said, there are some people saying this could be robo-debt part 2?
So, I mean, they've already, both the ATO and the government have apologised to taxpayers to this effect, but the fact is this debt still exists, right? And so it can be very detrimental to people's lives. As to where they go, where it remains to be seen. But the ATO has said that in some cases, if you have debts, they might not charge interest on it, so because the interest is going back all these years, and to contact them and they will decide that only on a case-by-case basis.